Hey, this is Kat at Kattalestv, and look at my shirt. You know I like glitter. So anyway, I wanted to talk about Dana White and this UFC 249. I have it written down because there's so much stuff in it, and things are so over the top right now that I don't know if I can remember everything. So if I look down, forgive me. But normally I'm used to just talking off the cuff. But again, I'm very upset with Dana. You know, I have issues with Dana before because I don't really think he treats the fighters with the respect that they deserve. It's sort of like the people on the front line right now, the people that ride the buses, the people that work at the grocery stores, the people that bag people's food for them and take it to their car, and the people that do DoorDash or whatever app out there that delivers food, and the people that clean other people's houses, the unnamed people, the medical staff that doesn't have proper protective gear. All those people seem not to have a voice right now. And the doctors and the nurses and the medical staff have been begging us from around the world, from Italy to China, and especially China. The doctors that were warning people months ago, some of them risked their lives. They're actually dead because they were trying to warn their friends, their loved ones, and even people they didn't know about this COVID-19 virus. I saw this stuff months ago, and online I was looking at videos coming from China, and I thought it was really serious. And just talking to some people at the time, a lot of men by the way, they were all like, it's no big deal, it's a joke, it's not real. They were coughing and sneezing and making jokes about it and buying Corona beer. But if you talk to the real medical professionals, they're not joking. If you talk to the families that lost loved ones, they don't find this funny. They're not able to say goodbye to some of the people that they were raised by who loved them. And I was just so appalled that Dana White thought that it was a good idea to do UFC 249 after this pandemic has been raging around the world for 3 months. Make it 4 probably, because it started, I believe, in December. And also in regards to the United States government, they were warned about it and didn't do anything. They actually sold some of the protective gear to foreign nations and didn't protect their own medical professionals. So I want to tell you a little backstory. You know, Dana is really close friend with Donald Trump. Dana spoke at the RNC and for Donald, because Donald had let the UFC do fights a long time ago at the, I guess the casinos or the hotels that Trump had. So they go way, way back. So to me, this whole thing of forcing UFC 249 to be done was about promoting the narrative that the coronavirus wasn't something that's that serious, and that like the show must go on. I saw Dana being the carnival barker for Donald Trump, his friend. And again, Dana doesn't like unions. He doesn't like people who stand up for their rights. And of course there's going to be fighters that are so desperate and so mentally challenged that they just want to fight no matter what's going on or what's happening around the world. But a real martial artist cares about other people and thinks about the bigger picture. And I'm not going off script, unfortunately. I'm talking off the side of my head. But the funny thing is that there was rumors they were going to do this out on an island because Dana was bragging about it. And of course he used TMZ, and TMZ is connected to Fox. And Fox is promoting all this propaganda about it's not that serious, it's fake news, and you know, buy the malaria drug that doesn't really work for COVID-19, because when it comes to light, Trump and his friends own part of the pharmaceutical company that is pushing that drug that supposedly doesn't work. I don't know the name, I don't have it written down, but it's that malaria drug that he keeps hawking. So to me, this was all like a show for Trump to help his friend out. But meanwhile, people are dying, you know? And on top of that, people didn't know that Rose, and let me see if I can, because I'm jumping all over this. I am horrible with these people's names, by the way. I normally like to call them by their first name, but Rose Namajunas. Please, I hope I said your name right. She's a great fighter. She lost 2 relatives to the coronavirus, and that's why she pulled out. And I think it's coming out in the news right now. More people will know about it. But Dana has this nasty way of implying that if fighters don't do what he wants, they're kind of like pussies. Because he kind of like implied that at first about Habib, in regards to, you know, he was on some plane, he went back to Russia. But this is the deal. This is a global pandemic. People are dying in different parts of the world, and even in America. New York has been hit extremely hard. This isn't fake. And for Dana to push that fight, and then I saw something on Yahoo News where they were trying to like spin it like Dana was some hero for trying to force this fight, and the UFC fans love him. That's total bullshit. To me, it shows Dana's lack of character and common sense, and his selfishness and his narcissism, and his willing to risk people's lives. You know, he kept talking to that ESPN interviewer. I don't know what that guy's name is, the guy with the dark hair. And they were this close to each other, where they literally could spit on each other. And if you know anything about this virus, you're supposed to be 6 feet apart from another person, and actually even further if they're sneezing or coughing. And they weren't even doing that. They were doing an interview talking about how safe it was going to be, and he actually coughed, you understand, during that interview. It's such bad optics, I can't even explain it. And the other thing, the rumor that he was going to do it at this island, and that it had nothing to do with, you know, the legal issues, you know, and that they could, if it wasn't going to be at an island, it was going to be the secret location, like, you know, Dana and the UFC is above everything, and they're so cool, and it's so, like, edgy. And again, people are dying. And then he brought up the fact that they were going to make it safe, and like they were going to have the best medical professionals, and there was only going to be a few people. Well, and then the interviewer asked him something about the testing. Like, are everybody going to be tested? And Dana replied, like, don't you worry about it. I have it all figured out. You know, that bravado without actual facts, without actual saying how he was going to do it. And actually, if he was going to get tests, those tests would be done unnecessarily. There are people who can't even get coronavirus tests right now. America has a shortage of getting the tests. So for Dana to be able to flaunt that he could get the test, and that the people that were going to be on that island, and they were going to, or wherever they were going to do the fight originally, the bells of the church are ringing. So anyway. Let me see if I can remember what the hell I was talking about. Stop it. Alright. Oh my god. By the way, some of these fools are going to try to go to church, which is going to be Easter Sunday this weekend. Large groups are not good. So let's get back to him trying to do this fight in a place with these fighters coming from all over the world to do this fight, and using tests that other people needed, and using medical professionals that could be on the front lines helping other people that are seriously ill. Again, this is such bad optics. I just want to slap Dana in the face. Yeah, I'm glad the governor of California Gavin Newsom made a call to Disney, and I guess Disney owns ESPN, which I didn't know. And then in William Morris Endeavor, I don't know if they just changed it to Endeavor, they could have been liable for a huge suit. But also the fact that a white was going to be on tribal land, which is ironic because America has treated indigenous people so poorly, that he could literally bring the coronavirus unwittingly to that tribal land by having this stupid fight. Sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes it's great to have, desire to do an event or something. But in the bigger picture, right now is not the time. California probably hasn't been hit as hard as we will be with the coronavirus. I heard that Carson, city of Carson, which hosts the LA Galaxy football soccer team, where I used to enjoy going to see David Beckham play several years ago, I heard Carson's being hit hard with coronavirus. And I hear every day that a store clerk or a driver for the metro is dead from coronavirus. I was on the metro a couple days ago, and there was a guy, I'm assuming he was higher than a kite, but he was laughing at the bus driver because the bus driver wanted people to wear masks, and he was getting very, upset. And it's about empathy and common sense. And we got to look out for each other right now. This is serious. People are not going to make it. And I love the UFC. I love certain parts of the UFC. I don't like the way Dana tries to bully fighters, and he doesn't take care of the fighters, and he acts like he does, but there's no union, and he doesn't care about people's safety. But the other thing is nobody cared really about Tony fighting Justin Gaethje. It's like the real champion is Khabib Nurmagomedov. Did I say that right, please? Anyway, long story short, that's the real fight. That's what we want. Sometimes you gotta wait for something good. You understand? I have no problem with Khabib or any other fighter wanting to be with their family, making sure they're safe. And let's just say this, if any of us have coronavirus, this could be the last time we have a chance to spend with our families, if we're lucky and blessed enough to stay with our families. So for Dana to push the fight, like I said, very bad judge of character. And it sets the precedent that people aren't taking this stuff seriously. A lot of people I've seen around and listened to, they don't take it seriously. But again, if they saw the videos that I saw come out of China 3 months ago or 2 months ago, they weren't showing those kind of videos on regular television that I knew of. I listened to some doctors that are in England that are really good, and also I have a friend in Italy that I've been discussing the trajectory of the virus with, and he's been telling me what's been going on. But it was as simple as one of the theories was there was an ice cream convention in a part of Italy that was really big around, I think, December or January. I think it was December, actually. But anyway, a person from Wuhan was at the ice cream convention, and a gentleman was from a major city in Italy that ended up being the first big city in Italy that got the virus. He was at that convention too. So if you have a group of people in a building, talking and doing business, it's very easy to get the virus. You got people talking, you got people shaking hands, you got people touching things. So that city, I can't remember off the top of my head which city it was, but that city got hit with coronavirus really, really hard, and then it started spreading. So every time someone who has it, who may or may not know they have it, touches somebody else, they affect other people. So that's why this stuff is really serious. So anyway, I'm going to stop before I get interrupted again, which is probably going to happen. But I just think, again, this is really bad judgment. Sometimes you have to set the example. Sometimes you have to say, you know what? instead of us doing this fight, we're going to donate the money to help doctors and nurses and people on the front lines to have proper gear. We're going to use a portion of the UFC's money to make sure people have food that are homeless, places to stay, etc., etc. So that's what's important. Having a fight where people are beating each other up and acting like it's the most important thing in the world is not essential. We need to be taking care of the medical professionals. We need to be making sure that the people that are giving us our food at the grocery store and the people that are driving us to our jobs or wherever we have to go, they need to be taken care of and they need to be safe. And that's the priority. And for Dana to be a leader of a major corporation and not to see that, shame on him. Shame, shame, shame on him. Even though he's friends with Trump, it's not right. Trump's not doing what he needs to do to protect the people that make America move. California has the 5th largest economy in the world. We have buying power, and we should use it. And New York is busting their butt trying to save lives, and people are dying. I have a friend that I met him on a movie set last year in New York, because normally I try to go to New York every summer and spring to shoot. I talked to him on the phone. He told me his family was okay, but he had friends, other Teamsters that are dead. So these people who don't take this serious, fuck you. Seriously. I want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to be living your best life. But I want us to not be so goddamn selfish. One of the craziest things that's going on right now is that this is an amazing time. Even though we're going through this epidemic, the sky in Los Angeles is so beautifully clear right now. I can't even explain how beautiful it is. The birds are chirping louder. The sun's shining brighter. The air's cleaner, and it's been raining. There's people spending quality time with their family. That is such a beautiful thing. People have time to take care of things they always said they didn't have time to do. Cooking, I just made amazing soup. There's people writing books, there's people painting, there's people reading to their kids that never get to do that. So this time is a humbling time and a hibernation time and a chance for Mother Nature to get her wind back. We don't need people pushing for us to go back into an environment that could get more people killed. So thank you for watching. Please wear a mask if you have to go outside. Cover your mouth. Don't spit around people. You have to have good hygiene. You have to wash your hands. You got to care about other people. All right? So thanks again. I appreciate you watching. And I'll talk to you later. This is Kat from Kattalestv. Bye-bye.